My kids are hungry 24 hours a day. So there are some things that I have on deck all the time. Peanut butter and beans. I always have beans. I don't care if it's pinto beans, red beans, black beans, a mix of black and red beans. I always have beans. And I always keep it fresh because I will mix new vegetables with them and play with different seasonings to give it a different flavor profile, a little bit more character. I use carrots, I use celery, ginger, garlic, all types of stuff, tomatoes. It just all depends. And as far as seasonings, I like to incorporate curry or use like a sea salt or maybe pink Himalayan salt, because salts definitely make a difference. I do not like that table salt with the no. I'm gonna need me a nice pink Himalayan salt or some type of sea salt. I want to try gray sea salt. I'm so excited about that. They have black salt, blue salt, all types of stuff, and each one has different benefits to it and different flavor profiles. So I like using dry mustard. Oh my god, that is amazing. I actually used dry mustard in my corn muffins because I'm a vegan cook, so I don't put eggs or anything in my baked goods. So I learned about emulsifiers. That is something that will make it so you can mix oil and water together, and mustard is one of those emulsifiers. So I put those just the tiniest bit of dry mustard. You couldn't even taste it in my sweet potato corn muffins, and I feel like it helped keep the batter together. They weren't crumbly at all. They were so moist. Oh my god. It didn't taste like sweet potato though, but it did make them very, very moist. So I think my regular corn muffins are going to be sweet potato muffins because they were just so delicious, and it really didn't taste like sweet potato. It just tasted like a really moist corn muffin. But enough about corn muffins. I have a video about it. Oh no, I don't actually. I'm going to make a video about it though. Back to these beans. Another way that I like to mix up how my beans taste is to use different types of onions. Purple onions, red onions, whatever you want to call them, depending on what part of the world you're in, are sweeter than my yellow onions, but they are both delicious. Onions are burning my eyes. I just realized that I'm out of jasmine rice, and I get my jasmine rice in bulk from the bodega. I went there yesterday. They didn't have the size I wanted, so I'm gonna make these beans goulash style because I have leftover macaroni noodles from when I made vegan mac and cheese the other day. I'll cut one more onion. So I'm gonna, after I make the beans, I'm just gonna add the noodles to it, and that'll keep the whole butts full. I always have a master plan. Keep them kids full. I cut up another onion. I like for my food to have a lot of flavor. There's nothing worse than spending an hour on a stew just for you to taste it and it tastes like straight water. You ever have that happen to you? Oh my gosh. Water. I'm like, yo, it's like 12 different things in here. Now it tastes like water. Just add some more salt. It's usually lack of salt. That's why you gotta get a little bougie with them salts. I'm trying to tell you, get a little adventurous with your seasonings and whatnot. It makes a difference. It really, really does. You can take the simplest ingredients and turn it into something grand simply because of the seasonings and the spices. See, I thought seasonings and spices were the same thing, and they are not. They are not. So, I've just reading. I'm trying to tell you, it's just reading. I don't really feel like I'm that much more intelligent than the next person. I just read a lot, and I apply what I learned to my life. I always want to improve. I spend so much time focusing on improving myself. I don't pay attention to what other people have going on. Well, that used to be the old me. I realized chess moves. That's not very smart, like what I just did. That wasn't very smart either. Garlic is easy to deal with. This is all you have to do. You have your whole bulb. You have your knife. Just press down. See? Well, some are already skinned. Easy peasy. And if you wanted to skin one of these, same process. You just take your knife, flatten it, and the skin pops off. See? And then you go to slicing. Wow, those onions were so ripe, I had to move them to the other side of the kitchen. Good Lord, they had tearing my eyes up. My allergies have definitely gotten worse. All right, so I'm gonna slice up a couple garlic. I'm gonna slice up some of this garlic real quick. I used to buy the pre-minced garlic, and My third son, the one that is studying to be a chef and start his own little bakery delivery service, the one that's always in my kitchen all the time, making all those amazing things on my community page. Him, he used to clown me like, yo, it wasn't even a clowning situation. He was disgusted. He was like, awesome, how could you? If you knew him, you would know why it's so funny. He's just like that. He's just like, how could you do that? Like, it messes up the quality. You know, he's all about quality and preciseness. Like, he's definitely a perfectionist. And he's the reason I take cooking so seriously. I started cooking because as a young child, the people I lived with, I didn't eat like them. Like, I've always been a very particular eater. They ate a lot of stuff like liver and onions and stuff like that. And I've always loved baked goods. And so, as a child, you can only get what your parents give you. Well, no. One day I woke up and I wanted an eclair. We didn't have any, so I went and I baked one. And that is how I started baking. There's our garlic. Okay. I don't have any carrots or celery today. I have to order groceries, but that's not it. Today is not order groceries day. I make us use all of our groceries before I order new groceries. I get so sick of wasting food. I don't like that. And I make us stick to a budget because you never know what's going to happen. I went to sleep expecting $1,100 worth of food stamps and woke up to 20 one day. So ever since then, I've made sure that we always roll over food stamps to the next month. And no, I don't feel any type of way about using food stamps. I've worked since I was 14 years old. I still pay taxes, and you legitimately have to have a job or be looking for a job to even get food stamps. So food stamps, if you use them with the right intention, are a step up, not a hand out. Always look at people's intention before you start judging what they're doing. All right, let's get this can open. Speaking of food stamps, shout out to Amazon for accepting food stamps. That's where I get a lot of my bulk items. Now, not every seller on there accepts it. I pay $45. Now, this is messed up. I pay $45 for this avocado oil. It's 128 fluid ounces, and I can use my food stamp card. But if you use cash, it's only $35. We use this in a month, and I have a smaller container. This one I had gotten from Aldi's, and I just continue to refill this throughout the month. This also helps us gauge, it helps me gauge how much usage there is for this particular item. Because like I've said in previous videos, in order for us to be successful as a family on a budget, investing in our future, building our businesses, we have to run our lives like in our household like a business. You know, dang near down to like spreadsheets, so I know how much food we're going through in a certain amount of period, how much each person eats, how many nutrients they're getting from their food. Like, I need to make sure I'm making nutritious food. That means that I have to make conscious, responsible decisions when I purchase the food. Then I have to make the proper meals so that they get those nutrients and I'm not wasting food, all while I'm developing new recipes. So it's like a lot of responsibility. So now I'm gonna put some olive oil in the bottom of my pan. I'm basically gonna coat the bottom of it. I love avocado oil because it's very mild. It doesn't have such a pungent flavor like olive oil does. That used to be my go-to. And we still have olive oil. We have grapeseed oil, olive oil, and avocado oil, coconut oil. I love a good palm oil. I have to cut back on that. I only get it about 3 times a year, and I get it in bulk and make it last 3 to 4 months. I love palm oil in my beans. That also adds flavor, mixing up your oils. Anyway, I like this for making homemade popcorn and stuff like that, and my stir fries because it has a high smoke point and it's a very mild flavor. While my oil is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and get together my seasonings. So I always want to do sage for good luck. My secret ingredient is cinnamon. I put cinnamon in everything. People won't be able to put their finger on it, but I like to always have an element of spice, sweetness, and creaminess to my food. So, all right, so we're gonna start with the salt. Pink Himalayan salt, 1 tablespoon. We'll do 2 tablespoons of pink Himalayan salt. I've actually stopped over salting my food since I started pre-measuring. And we're gonna do 2 paprika. let me keep in mind what I'm doing. Oh yeah, definitely the mustard. Definitely gonna do mustard.
Hey, Mom.
What's up?
You making beans?
Yes, I am.
Dang, I thought you. I mean, I'm so still glad for that. I thought
Give the people the secret recipe.
And then, ooh. And then I'm gonna put parsley, turmeric for sure. I've been using a lot of turmeric ever since I found out that it helps with depression. But you have to pair it with pepper, black pepper. And then that's all I'm gonna put in there. And then I'm gonna do my sage.
You want to split this one while
This is our mix. All right, now we're gonna go put the onions and the garlic in the oil. So we're gonna let that cook down for like 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm gonna add the seasoning, cook it for another minute, and then I'm gonna add the beans. My beans have already been soaked and drained. They soaked overnight the night before, and then I drained them the next day. So they're all ready. I like to be prepared because my natural state is not wanting to do anything or talk to anyone or come out of my room or get out of my bed. So anything I can do to make life easy for myself, I do that because I have 3 teenagers that love to make everything difficult. So I have to support myself by making all of the things that I have to do every single day easier, like prepping my vegetables the night before if I know I'm going to cook the next day. Just having a set schedule of cleaning 3 times a day so I know that the house is the way that I want it most of the time, because it affects my mental health, and then that affects how I raise my kids or how much work I get done or how much spiritual work I'm doing. So I really have to find ways to support myself because it's just me, and I'm giving all this love and attention and having to be patient when triggered and doing all of the things that literally a whole team of people should be doing, and it's just me. So you know, it's not that I'm a superhero, it's just that I try to make sure to support myself by preparedness and organization. I cannot believe they're going to go to Five Below without me. That was my idea. Now my kids think they're so cool because they have these little friends and these outside lives and their little cash apps, so now I can just send them their money, and then they want to go out together doing things that were my idea, the things they were supposed to do with me. They don't want to hang out with me no more. How you just wake up and your whole life is different? We were just hanging out last week. Unbelievable. So I added the seasonings. Look how many seasonings. It looks so good. Yum, 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 yum. I'm gonna add the beans now. You might think it's funny, but you don't owe me money. I added a bunch of songs from my childhood to my playlist the other day, and I vibed out for hours the other night. I looked up, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was in there just doing the most, dancing. I'm telling you, I've choreographed like 300 music videos in my head throughout my life. I'm telling you, I get it in when I'm in my room by myself. And this is still on a medium. I'm about to add the water. But yeah, like DMX, TLC, Queen Latifah, like all types of stuff. Jada Kiss, a lot of stuff. And then there were some things that I went back to that were not as good as they used to be, like the DJ Clue mixtapes. I feel like it was just like because I was such in a square household when I was growing up, and when that changed and we moved to the city and I could finally listen to hip hop and rap, I was just listening to anything that I could. Back, you know, do you remember back in the day when they used to send those pamphlets like get 20 cassettes or CDs for 99 cents and you don't have to pay now? Oh my gosh, I bought every rap and hip hop thing they could in my parents' name, and when I could get to the mail first, which was usually in the summertime, and I didn't get caught, I finally got to listen to hip hop, and I would listen to any daggone thing. But the DJ Clue, I grew up in Baltimore, so like they would sell DJ Clue mixtapes and stuff like that in the city. So I would hop my behinds on the train and go right downtown and buy them little mixtapes, and that's how I started falling in love with hip hop. And we've been together ever since. So now I'm gonna add water to the beans, let them boil, and then turn them down. So let me tell you what I used to make. The biggest mistake I used to make making beans was cooking them at too high of a temperature. For whatever reason, if you cook your beans too high, they won't expand. They need to be steamed open. Like, you need to put them on simmer, and then open. How you gonna say you don't understand how something happens and then explain it? Girl, bye. And I also used to put way too much water in my beans, which is why I use a small pot now to prevent putting too much water in my beans. I'm gonna show you the level that it's at. Oh, you can see it. That's the level. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil. It'll take about 10 minutes. And then once it starts boiling, I'm gonna put a top on it and let it simmer for like an hour, hour and a half, and then boom, we got beans. We got beans, we got rice, we got beans, we got, actually we don't have any rice, but we got noodles. And while I'm doing all that, I forgot to put the daggone canned tomatoes in there, and it's too late now. It's not gonna turn out the same. I was supposed to put the tomatoes in there after I put the onions and stuff in there, so it could cook down with the onions a little bit, and then put the seasoning on top of it. Like, it missed the process. If I put them in there now, it's not gonna taste right, so oh well. I don't like my can opener anyway. It's wonky. I think this time maybe I might get an electric one. Even though I really don't want one. I just want a good handheld, you know, can opener, but I haven't been able to find one. They always rust and they always break. My can opener gonna open up most of the can, and you get the one little section and just go like this, and then it's like bent but not open, and it's like, what are you talking about? But I saw somebody actually fire a little caveman behind. I've seen her do it. Knows how to open a can with a knife. She uses a knife. She's something different. She like her daddy. Ruthless and brilliant. And I was in the room writing, and I smelled the beans. I said, oh Lord, get up and get these beans. Okay, great. It's been boiling for, good Lord. I've been in there writing for almost a half hour. So let me turn this down now. I'm gonna put this on low and cover it up. This is the point where I give it a taste. Taste. Gotta let them in. Wait, that's way too high. Hold on now. Okay. I see what we working with. I like that. I do need to add more water and some salt. Since I already did pink Himalayan salt. Now, where's my sea salt? Okay, I don't like that being up there. I'm going to use this Mediterranean style fine grind. Shouldn't it say fine ground? It says fine grind. I don't like that. That's okay. Mediterranean style sea salt. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of this. No, I'm not. That would be way too much. I'm going to do half a tablespoon. We're going to do half a tablespoon. I just spilled half of that. That must be the spirit. Because I'm just going to over salt these beans. Put a little bit more water in there. I was only supposed to let this boil for 10 minutes. But I forgot I was cooking because I was writing. Okay. Judah's on there writing. I love my home. There's always something being done that's creative. Music being written, someone's recording a video or writing or doing hair or drawing or painting. Just, I love it. I always wanted to have a little magic school, and now I have one. I'm so excited for my simple little life. Oh my God, that is so good. I'm telling you, it's the mustard. That dry mustard will change your life. Dry mustard and parsley paired together, my God. It's just something about beans. I get so much life. I'm hyped now. Just off the broth. This is what I get excited about. I'm adding a tiny bit more salt because I did drop some of that salt. And it's like, you don't need meat. Because of the avocado oil that I put in there, it tastes fatty. And if you ever want a flavor of meat, add a little bit of cumin. It'll give that meat flavor. I add mushrooms to give meat texture. You can play around with your senses. For me, it's about the senses when I'm eating. You know, I love the creaminess. I love the spiciness and a little bit of sweet. You know, get my senses going. You know, food is so spiritual. That's why I like fast food. I don't want that. Yes. Because I added that water, I'm actually going to put these beans on a 3 instead of low because it's going to take forever to heat back up. These kids done left my oven on for a whole hour over these daggone pastries. They act like utilities are free. Yes, baby. What do you want?
Yeah, no more. No more.
Use these noodles.
Yeah,
We are.
you got to because mom was gonna just let them sit out.
I wasn't. Oh, yeah, I did let them sit out. If the kitchen was cold, what nothing going to happen to them?
Except rotten and spoiled.
They weren't going to spoil. It's like 56 degrees in here. He's such an old man. Old turkey man. Okay, the beans started boiling again, so I put them down to a 1, which is low, on my oven. And it'll be in there cooking for like another half hour, 45 minutes, then it'll be done. I'm so excited. The house smells amazing. I'm telling you, those spices will change your life. It's just so much joy. You can't help but move your body when you put the spoon in your mouth, because just when those senses awaken, there's no feeling like it. Food is so important. Food, spirituality, God, ancestors, family, love, it's all mixed together. It's all mixed together. I just love being able to love my family this way. Very grateful. The beans are done. My house smells like everything amazing. Oh my Lord. Look at this. That's what we're working with. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to cover this up and just let it sit. And these beans are going to get nice and fat. They're going to soak up all of that broth. And then my babies are going to be so happy. Yeah. Beautiful, delicious, affordable, healthy, protein packed. Like, my kids love these beans. And I always have them sitting around the house. I always have some sort of beans cooked to keep my little monsters nice and full and healthy. I love you. Thank you for cooking with me this morning. It's only 1:41. My chores are done. I've been working on my... I can't tell you what I'm working on. I'll tell you guys in a few weeks. It's almost done. But I love you so much. And I hope you enjoyed my little bean video. And I will talk to you guys in a day, as I drop videos every other day on my channel at 8:15. I love you. If you want to check out my music, my artist name is The Fury of Abyss. And you can check that out on any streaming platform worldwide. I'm everywhere. I love you.